just saying that he needed a hat. And what did we?
It looks a little cold.
No, there's a Canadian term for that too. Because I used to live in Western Canada, and what did I say? No, it's not a hat. It's what?
It's a toque. Is
a
that?
Toque.
I'm
That's
learning.
what we'd say. Now, when we get a dusting of snow up in Alberta and Saskatchewan, we'd call it.
And I don't know that.
We'd call it. We're going to say we're going to get a skip of snow tonight, eh?
Hey.
Now we're not getting skips of snow here, but there are some not too far from here.
Yes, we got a skip of snow, as the Canadians would call it, out in the northwestern portion of Florida and the far extreme part of the Panhandle. And this is just not your typical snow depth map, right? This is what we woke up to this morning. And even as we head into the weekend through Sunday, we're going to continue to track snowfall totals from the mid-Atlantic states up into the Northeast and through New England. And actually, at this point in time, we are tracking very cold temperatures that are going to be what's called advecting into the first coast. So basically, it's coming up from the north and the west, and it is moving our way. We're still watching snowfall, though, from coastal Virginia up into Portland, Maine. So even New York City, I heard they're seeing some light snow at this point as well. We aren't getting any of the wet stuff, but we sure do have some cold weather on the way, which is why the National Weather Service issued this freeze warning. And basically all it means is that the temperatures are going to be at freezing or just below for at least 2 hours. This forecast calls for those temperatures to be below freezing in some spots for up to 4 to 8 hours. So that is very significant. And actually some spots inland, this is actually a little bit later in the season, believe it or not, as far as the average first freeze goes. But for some spots, hey, we are saying too early, way too early. We don't ever want the freeze warnings here, right? We live in Florida. Sunday, 1 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the morning is when that freeze warning is officially in place. And when it's this cold, don't forget about 3 things here. I call them the 3 Ps. When it gets even colder, we have to talk about a 4th one, but we won't mention it today. Pets, plants, and people. Okay, so your outdoor pets, make sure they're warm tonight. Cold sensitive plants, bring them on in or cover them up if you can't do that. And then also just check on your neighbors. Make sure everyone is nice and toasty tonight and they've got that heater turned on, most likely. I think in my house it's the first time we're going to turn it on tonight. As far as our current temps go and the wind chill, the white is the temperature, the blue is the wind chill. We've already got wind chills in the upper 30s here across southeast Georgia, and these numbers are going to drop into the mid and upper 20s as far as it's actually going to feel on your skin, with that air temperature of 31 degrees in Jacksonville combined with a light west breeze tomorrow morning. Yes, it's going to be much cooler. The sun doesn't rise until 7:12, so just a heads up that it's going to be cold right up until sunrise, and then we begin to quote unquote warm up for the Jags game. Kickoff about 53 degrees by the time that you're heading home from that game, though, in the lower 40s, and wind chills throughout the Jags game tomorrow right here at the bank going to be in the 40s to even the 30s as you're heading home, hopefully celebrating a Jags win. But overall, no snow, Jeff. No skiff of, what's it called? Skiff of snow. All right, I had to ask Jeff for that Canadian advice. But anyways, we'll have sports after the break.